The question is, what is Trump waiting for? What do you think President Trump is waiting for? When does he move in? What will be the strategy? What will be the moves? He has to do it now. He is pissing away his and our future. You do know that the Democrats are not going to let him take this. You do know that, right? You do know the Democrats are not, repeat, not going to let him take this. Do you understand that? You understand what I'm saying? You understand what I'm saying? They're not going to let him do that. If you think for 1 minute, if you think they're going to let him walk in and ruin everything, you're out of your mind. I can't say this enough. I don't know how to say it. I don't know how to put it into words. I don't know how to say it and not sound melodramatic. But we are in the fight of our life, dear friends. Do you understand what I'm saying? The fight of our life. Do you get this? Am I making myself clear? Do you think I'm being dramatic? Do you think I'm just saying this? Come on. Do you think I'm full of shit? Come on, let's speak like adults. Come on, it's okay. It's okay. You can do it. Do you think I'm just saying this stuff? Do you think do you understand the existential threat that we're in and what these people are going to be doing next time? Do you have any doubt in your mind? What will it take for you to do something? What would you do? What will you do for your country? What? What are you going to do? What are you going to do? What do you do ultimately? I'll bet you half of the people that you meet and talk to aren't even going to vote because they just feel like everything's going to be okay. Everything's going to be okay. What's the big deal? This is precisely what people think on a regular basis, and it drives me nuts. I have been watching and listening to. I'm sorry. I just love history, and I love to think, what would we do? Do we have the mettle? Do we have the ability? Do we have the guts? Do we really have the guts and the stones and the stuff to really do things? To fight back against a looming, and absolutely horrible enemy. Do you know, I read something today from a fellow who's a very good writer. And he does one of these great, oh, thank God for Substack. Substack is it's just transformed information that we know. We get to see some of the best writing, some of the best stuff from, it's just wonderful. Okay. Now, the things which is the most important is for me to understand. Anyway, so as he's writing, and he talks about the future of cars, he talks about kill switches. Do you understand this? He's talking about kill switches for vehicles, for cars. So you're driving along, everything's groovy, and all of a sudden your car stops. Your car just, something weird happens to it. Something odd happens to it. Kind of like that car that mysteriously blew up in, you know what I'm talking about. Blew up in Niagara Falls or the border. Did you find that interesting? Do we know anything about this? Now, let me tell you something, please. Before you think I'm saying this, before you lose your mind, please let me tell you something which is very, very critical. I have no reason to believe that anything nefarious happened in that particular instance, other than what was reported. But do you find cars that all of a sudden accelerate out of control? Cars of that 300, whatever this Bentley cost. Do you find these things weird? I don't want to be one of these crazy, kooky conspiracy theorists, but whenever cars just take off and see, especially when they say there's nothing wrong with it. He was not under the impression. I don't know who he is, and we will always presume that I don't want to say Occam's razor, dare I say that, but we will always presume that there's some form of easily explicable mechanical error. But do you ever? Isn't there a part of you, if you were a detective, where you would say, I want to see this. I want to know more about this. I don't know. I'm feeling funky, but I don't like it. You're entitled to do that, Please, I beg you, do not lose your suspicions. Who was that fellow? Was it Michael Hastings? Was it Hastings? Yes, Michael Hastings. Remember when his car blew up? He was a reporter. He was about to. I don't know what he was going to do. I think he was about to say something or whatever it was. Do you remember that? Do you remember that case? You remember that? Remember the okay. Wasn't that weird? Wasn't that strange? Did any of you ever find that that's the weirdest story? I'm not buying it. Is there anybody here who just thought to yourself, this is just a weird story? I'm not buying this. I'm not buying this. Now, I'm not saying anything weird happened. I'm not saying anybody was killed. I'm not saying anything of the sort. But as we're talking about Trump, I just went through this when I got this article, this piece about kill switches and cars being controlled. Oh my God. Stand by for 1 second, my friend. Stand by for 1 second. I keep thinking about my Costco trip and what would happen if one day all of a sudden there was some glitch. If all of a sudden Costco's were closed and they said, you know what, because of tumult and because of unrest, we're unable to have our regular stores stay open. So please do us all a favor, friends. Just kind of relax and people relaxing with no food. Are you ready? Are you ready to handle the world if for some reason you needed to go just a week? Can you go a week without stores? A week? And that doesn't mean scraping together banana chips. Listen to this. Patriot, the world at every level and facet is in peril. Everything has changed. The Great Reset is here. Just look around you. You must become more self-reliant and sufficient and secure the future for your family. Act today with My Patriot Supply. My Patriot Supply is the country's largest preparedness company, and it's more than equipped to stock your shelf. Their best-selling 3-month emergency food kit provides delicious breakfast, lunches, and dinners that last up to 25 years in storage. And right now, listen carefully, it's $200 off. That's right. Get over 2,000 calories every day. Just add water and heat, then eat. Make sure every member of your family has a 3-month food kit from My Patriot Supply. Go right now to my special website at preparedwithlionel.com, preparedwithlionel.com for $200 in savings. Be sure to order by 3 p.m. for free same-day shipping. It's best to have emergency food and not need it than to need it and not have it. Take $200 off right now at preparedwithlionel.com, preparedwithlionel.com. Write this down, commit it to memory, preparedwithlionel.com. Get the impression that I'm telling people things that they don't want to hear. And consequently, when I tell people things they don't want to hear, they figure, well, maybe, what's the word? Maybe he's being a little bit, I mean, just a little bit kind of. Do you think I'm ever extravagant? Do you think that when I tell you that the only person who is available right now who can actually possibly do anything to kind of refit, redirect, reconnect our country to any sense of rational thought, do you understand that I'm talking about something very important, and that is specifically the idea of Trump? Do you think Trump is gone? Do you think Trump is just, look, come on, listen, be honest with me. Be honest. If you feel that way, it's okay to say it. Do you think that Trump is just over? That this was his time, this was his chance, but you know what? Stuff happens, and you know, we're just it was a nice run. It was a nice run. He meant well. He did the best he could. But these are different times. Do you ever feel like that? Do you ever feel like that? Do you feel like maybe this is one of those things that just sort of, it's kind of just, well, it's kind of run its course. Do you ever feel like that? It's okay if you do. It's okay if you do. I understand it. I mean, I understand the whole notion of how you might think that. And I think you might think yourself also that, maybe just because you got to ask yourself, this is, listen, there's a lot wrong with Trump. But what's he waiting for? What is he waiting for? What in the name of God is he waiting for? You're exploding cars. Wait, do you know what the New World Order, the globalists have in mind? Do you have any idea, ladies and gentlemen? White Monkey says, YouTube will not let me post Michael's full name about his car incident. Yes, Michael Hastings. Isn't that something? I'm saying it. What? I mean, it's in the news. It's in Wikipedia, for God's sakes. Does that mean anything? It's in Wikipedia, for the love of God. See, this is the part that just blows my mind. It blows my mind. And I don't understand. Listen, White, I can't tell you something. I have put videos up, one word, and they will say, up, can't monetize it. I mean, it's allowed. It's not, they don't stop me. They don't say you can't post something, but they say, up, sorry, no good. What do you mean? Well, that's not a good word. So I will change a word, leave everything up as is, everything. I'll leave everything as is. And here's the best part. They say, okay, it's all right now. It's like, just by changing one word. Just by changing one word. So I want you to do me a favor. And this is for you. This is for you specifically. This is for you, dear friend. This is for you, White Monkey. I want you to shut this belly aching up. Quit acting like a little baby. Grow a pair. Just kidding. I go through this all the time. Do you know who you're talking to? Do you want to talk? I don't even want to bring this up. Do you know what we've been through? I don't want to hear this bullshit about how they won't let me put amazing. I've been through hell and back with everybody. You're talking to the expert. You're talking to the Nelson Mandela of everything. I know it. And it's not gone anywhere. Why do you think I have a private channel? Why do you think I have a private? I'm dead serious. In a private channel, you can say what you want. You should see the comment sections of my channel. I mean, this is great. Don't get me wrong. I love this, and I love these people. But you should see this stuff. It is wild. And you can say whatever you want. There's no anything. It's private. Everything's going to be paywalled. Everything. You do know that. There's the link. I can say stuff that's just I don't even know what this it's and the thing about it is that it makes you so freaked out where you think of yourself, you think of what am I doing here? What is going on here? What is the purpose of all of this? What in the name of God is this lunacy that we're going through? What is this? How does this thing work? It's the damnedest thing. Why can't I say this? Why can't I don't know. Why is this so bad? I don't know. Yeah, but why? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know any of this stuff. Let me tell you something. It's coming back big time. Wait till you see them crank down and crush you when it comes to COVID. And let me tell you something right now. Be very careful. Watch what you say about it. Elon might be one thing. I got my doubts too about that. I got my doubts. I don't think. So I don't understand something. When this just get used to this. It's going to be big. It's going to be COVID. The denial is up again too. They wanted to see how far you would go, and how far we would go, and they're the only game in town. When it changes, that's what happens. A lot of these folks were in competition with things like TikTok and others, and that's why one of the reasons why, even though I'm not crazy about TikTok being Chinese and all that kind of stuff, I'm telling you that when you've got a bunch of people here like what's his name Zuckerberg. By the way, Zuckerberg's a big man now. Zuckerberg's into he's a badass. He eats 4,000 calories a day and wears the same clothes. And he's on the ground. And he's slapping Lex Friedman around. Look at me. I'm a man. I'm not a nudge. I'm not some little twit. Why are so many men now so out of they have to say, see, I can beat people up. See? I can beat people up. Why are they doing this? What is going on here? There's one thing when people were really good, actual competitors and the like. But this is almost like, see, I'm not a nudge. I can choke people. Well, anyway, when this son of a gun was basically paying all the money to Congress, they were going after TikTok. They weren't going after Twitter then under Dorsey. So you're telling me this? You're telling me about you can't type a word? Do you know what we've been through? Anybody who's been a creator in this? Dear God, you got to be kidding me. You've got to be kidding me. You honestly think that you're going to impress us with this? Don't even make us laugh. And I'm not trying to sound like a dick because it sounds like it, but I'm thinking to myself, our whole world is this. Our whole world is nothing but this. This is what we live in constantly. There are people I never saw again. There are people I never, in fact, there were the old days, and then look at this. Whatever happened to this one? And they kind of went, I don't know where they went. They just went. They went places, I guess. It's the strangest thing. And there are these folks who actually live in worlds of, there's one in particular, this one lunatic with that pedo stuff. It's like, oh my God. Do you know that people were still, and I got to tell you something. Do you know there's these oldies but goodies, okay? And one of the things you got to understand, if you're in this business, listen to me very carefully. You got to understand a few things. And one of them is simply this. Please try not to be in the position where you're repeating stuff that's hackneyed. Let me give you an example. Let me give you an example of something which was the most beautiful thing I've ever seen in my life. Okay. It was absolute nuts. And it was something that happened where somebody, instead of saying, hey, that's kind of interesting, they went full tilt. Pizzagate. Remember that one? Oh, dear God. Oh, my God. That was off to the races. And I thought, that's it. That's when I said, okay, that's all right. See, I thought I could play around with some of these folks. No, 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 no. That was my mistake. I thought, okay, maybe you can. Oh, no, no. Next thing, I got rid of that. I'm thinking to myself, these people are missing the point. They never can say, oh, that's kind of interesting. Oh, no, no. They go into this stuff. And there are these dingbats who were still pursuing this. It's like it's time to move on. You're stuck in the past. Remember when they were saying these other ones too? Remember a while back they were saying things like they're smuggling kids in furniture. It's like, oh, for the love of God. Are you kidding me? Furniture? Yeah, they're going to furniture. Furniture? Furniture. All right. Yeah, they got it right here. And they're taking kids from underneath in tunnels. And I'm thinking, tunnels? Remember that? Where have you been? It's just like, what is going on? But because people love this, it's like, don't go with this. There's no, it's like a, how do I say this? It's a kind of like this alley. It's going nowhere. It's this, and the people never know when to stop. See, before I was saying, isn't it interesting that we have this case of these people who were, all of a sudden their car is airborne, and it reminds me of Michael Hastings. And he was about to blow some story. Breitbart's death, too, was very, very weird. But that's where it stops. That's the dead end. Speaking of pizza, look who's in charge of Biden's climate change. Oh, let me tell you something. Do not dismiss climate change. What do you think what is Trump going to do to people who worry and fear about climate change? Is he going to say anything about it? No. Why? He thinks climate change is stupid. He thinks climate change is stupid. No, you think climate change is stupid, don't you? You do, right? Climate change, all that business, climate change and global warming and all that kind of stuff. So what you're going to do is you're going to say, oh, don't even bring it up. Well, what are you supposed to do? How are you supposed to address this? What is Trump supposed to say? Well, that's bullshit. Well, no. See, this is why he's going to lose. What are you going to say? What is Trump going to say about abortion? Do you believe Trump is some super Christian? Do you believe this? Do you? Do you believe that Trump is a big Christian? Do you? Huh? Anybody here think that? Remember when he came out, when they burned that fire or that building or that church across from Hay Adams near Lafayette Park? He came out with a Bible and he held it up kind of like Dracula, with like a cross. What the hell was that about? Do you think Trump has anything to do with evangelical anything? Are you kidding me? Does that bother you? Does that bother you? I don't know if I want some evangelical, any of these people. I'll be honest with you. I'm sorry, because there's a big problem with that, because I don't want somebody thinking that there's this thing they can do, or instead of maybe reading information and data and history, they can maybe prey on it. I mean, praying's nice, but I don't want that in lieu of good, sound policy and the like. But the bottom line is simply this. Trump's wasting his time. Have you seen all these pictures of Ivanka with the new eyes and the new face and the new thing? Hey, look, I'm surfing. Look at my abs rocking out. This disgusts me. This is what these people are all about. I'm sorry. There's this level of look. I don't know how to tell you this. I love Trump as a president, but understand who he is. Melania, do you think that's a close marriage? Does anybody seriously look at this? Do you think this is hey, come on. It's the whole Trump thing. And this is the guy who's going to explain to me, you went after Dusty Saddles or Stormy Daniels? Dear God. Oh my God. Is there anything? And then you got Don Jr. with his big mouth. So there's a lot about Trump you got to understand. I love him to death, but he's kind of reckless. And he sees the end. How do you want to go through this? You're 77. Most people are getting tired of this stuff. And I still think he's terrific, but understand something. Put him into perspective. Nobody does know his shortcomings. This is the way it works. And by the way, trophy wife. Does anybody believe this? Does anybody believe trophy wives? Seriously? When you say, hey, look at me. I'm married to whatever. Okay. I know it's money. Jared Kushner is one of the creepiest people who has ever existed. So he and Ivanka, was love at first sight. Come on. And who was it? Jared's brother? He's got some other model. Don't people realize, look, you want to marry me because of my money. I look like a troll. I understand it. Say, why would you want this? Why? Maybe that's all they can get. Hey, look, I got a trophy wife. You bought her. I'm not saying these people. Aren't we past this stuff? Aren't we? Look at, speaking of, I've been watching some of The Crown. I just think it's a great show. Look at Princess Di. She was a broodmare. They picked her out. You'll do. Give them a couple of sons, and you're off. And that's it. These people disgust me. But if you're going for the Waltons, you're not going to find these people there. The bottom line is simply this. He's it. He's it. He's the guy. He's all we have. He's our only hope. Everybody else is absolutely. When you go to these people and you say, here I am, I'm a billionaire. Here. You know this, what's her name? Oh God. Taylor Swift. And this guy, this love affair, that's a deal too. Okay, look, you're gonna be my boyfriend. Okay, here, sign here. Here's the NDA. How long is it gonna be? 6 months? Okay, there you go. There you go. Okay. And we'll do this, and we're gonna be okay, fine. That's it. Gisele Bundchen, Tom Brady. Yeah, natural. Yeah, two couple of brain trusts there, just finding each other because that might be more of a meeting of the mind. She might have ended up having more money. Everything in this whole trophy wife stuff is the most ridiculous thing in the world. How do you end up? I'll tell you one who actually turned out, I think surprisingly, was Princess Grace with Renier and Monica. That actually might have turned out okay. Charlie Chaplin and Una, that actually might have turned okay. But I mean, there's one thing about Trump. He's gaudy. He's very plastic sometimes. But believe it or not, there's a sincerity when it comes to running the government. There's this sincerity. There's this. It's like he everything else is the way he is. But there's something about the way he runs this country that that's all I care about. Rosalind Carter died, of course, as you know. And I think that's one of the greatest stories in the world. This is a woman who loved her husband. It wasn't for money. It wasn't for, hey, be my trophy wife. And it's because they really loved each other. I think Harry and Bess Truman. I think Laura Trump and Laura Trump, Laura Bush. Laura Trump. It's Laura. Do you ever know those people named Naomi? They call them Naomi. Why are you? Anyway. But I think there was some Nixon and Pat. That was very strange. Remember when Nixon was crying when she. I always look at how people are, the way they do. Nancy and, oh my God, Nancy and Ronald Reagan. And then we started to see Bill and Hillary. That was, I don't know what that was. I don't understand that one. But it's not for me. Nobody ever bought that. Whenever you see somebody who is just absolutely more ambitious than her husband, and the people that give her the hardest time, the one that I didn't feel any affinity to, but I thought got such a raw deal, was Michelle Obama. For whatever it's worth. She was the only one who said, hey, I want kids to learn how to eat. They came after her about her food. And she said, you know what? The hell with it. The hell with it. The stuff people said to her and still do, it's brutal. I don't know about that. But I can tell I love to see a great partnership. And if anybody thinks that Donald Trump ever comes home to Melania and says, honey, I'm home. How was your day? Terrific. Great. Want to watch a movie? Yeah. Hey, look what's on TV. National Lampoon's European Vacation Zone. That's forget it. What are you talking about? That's the thing which we have to understand. That's the thing that I want to tell you about. I love sincerity. Do you understand what I'm saying? I love what's real. And I love the stuff that is so important. I mean it. I love what's real. And I love people who are the most sincere. And I love when people say, this is what I want you to do. And I also love when you and I tell the president, do us a favor. Go out there and do us a favor. Okay? Do us a favor. Make sure and this is critical, make sure you keep us out of war, never sell us out, and do what you say you were going to do. And that's it. And that's what Trump did. Trump never screwed us. People give him a hard time about COVID. I don't buy that. I think he did a damn good job with COVID. He had to do it. For the love of God, it was a pandemic. The world was going nuts. He did exactly the right thing. No, he didn't let me down at all. He might have been perfect, but he was damn good. All right, stop for a second, my friends. Let's take a break. Listen to me carefully. The best investment advice anybody can give you right now still goes and still deals with the notion of silver and gold investment. And the best are my good friends at Noble Gold Investments. So listen carefully. Dark clouds are gathering as markets shudder. Stocks are sinking, currency stumbling, fear and uncertainty reign. The Middle East, Ukraine, Taiwan, the debt, it's endless. Yet one asset stands firm, gold. In crisis after crisis, gold is there in the background. Its enduring value guards against loss, like a missile shield against incoming. While paper wealth burns, gold persists. Shield your savings against looming threats, war, recession, contagion, and avoid the frenzied panic of the unprepared. Take control in the chaos. Fortune favors decisive action. Get hold of gold now before it's out of reach. And right now, Noble Gold Investments offers a free 5-ounce America the Beautiful coin with every new IRA. Claim your free coin today to secure your financial future. As this new storm gathers, panic looms. And some of the places you were thinking of for your money, well, They don't look so clever anymore. Secure your future against disaster now. Open a Noble Gold Investments IRA and claim your free bullion coin today. Go to LionelNationGold.com. That's LionelNationGold.com. LionelNationGold.com, the only gold company I trust. And remember, there's always a risk of investment and there's no guarantee of any kind. I love that guy, Trump. I know people have a hard time with him, but I never have. I've liked him. I like him a lot. And what I find out the most interesting about him, very specifically, is that he does what he says he's going to do. That's it. And that's why I need him. I don't care about his family or his marriage or whatever. I don't care about that. I don't care about what he does. I wish he wouldn't hang around dirtbags and skeeves like that Stormy Daniels. That shows to me a complete and total disruption of character. If you don't see what that's about, this trollop, this butaneda, you're out of your mind. But you know what? I'll take that. If that's what he if that's it. And that E. Jean Carroll, wow, that case was very, very weird, very strange. Remember the other one too? Remember the Playboy bunny, McDougal or whatever her name was? She sold her story, I think, to what was it? And they just killed the story. Come on. Look, I believe, I like to believe in men who have rational thinking and the like. And what I also want people to do is to recognize the fact that it really would be a good idea for a lot of folks to put themselves in the position of maybe, just maybe, acting like a regular person. That's all. That's all. Anyway, dear friends. Everybody doing all right, though? Everybody doing all right? Everybody doing crazy? Doing nuts? Doing well? Today's been a wonderful day for me. There's something very strange. I don't know what it is. Maybe because the weather it turned very fallish, kind of wintry is coming. I can kind of see what's happening. And I go through these weird. I'm very, very. I don't know about you, but I'm very, very affected by weather and the like. So, in any event. Remember, my friends, this is it one more time. The reason why we're here is to try to take all the stuff that we hear, put it aside, and put things into perspective. So listen, be whatever you want, be as conspiratorial as whatever. And I hate that term because the term I think is being used incorrectly. But do whatever you have to do. I understand it. But remember something, and this is very, very important. Make sure that you pay attention to what's going on. Don't believe in something just because it's kind of popular. Believe in something because it makes sense. Know when to take it as far as it should go. Don't go too far, like a lot of these people did. A lot of these people with this lunacy, this absolute lunacy when it comes. Anyway, you heard me before. I don't want to redo it. I don't want to rehash. My friends, you have a great and a glorious day. And let me also say, I want you to listen to me very, very carefully. I want you to listen. I want to thank you for being here. I want you to thank you for always being a part of this, for following me, for doing a great job, for paying attention. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being a part of this. Thank you. You're good people. You really are. I mean that. I'm not just saying that. You've got a heart of gold. You love this country. You love freedom. You love just normal things. And sure, sometimes you're crazy. Sometimes you're half-cocked. Sometimes you're walking around with your head up your arse. But that's okay. Everybody's entitled to be a little nuts every now and then. And I'll give you your due. But by and large, no. Almost all the time. No, all the time. You're great. And I love you. Don't ever think for a moment I don't appreciate what you're doing. There's a lot of people you could be watching right now. A lot of people you could be watching. Giving you the fake, we're all going to do it in MAGA. And sometimes I realize that what I say to you, being the truth, it's not necessarily, it doesn't necessarily make your day. It doesn't make you happy, but it's the truth. Anyway, dear friends, have a great and a glorious day. Thank you so much for watching. Don't ever change. I mean that sincerely. Please follow Mrs. L. Go to Lynn's Warriors. Subscribe to her channel. Got a great interview with her on mine as well. And that's it for now. In any event, have a great day. We love you. See you tomorrow, same bad time, same bad channel, 8 a.m. Until then, remember, the monkey's dead. The show's over. Sue ya. Ta-ta.